Hi, I'm Slavik with iDrinkCoffee.com. Today I'm doing a tutorial on how to change a shower screen and a group gasket in an E61 machine. This method will work for any machine that has an E61 group or where the shower screen is held in place with the gasket. I'm using two Rocket Mozzafiatos to do this demonstration, but this method will work for machines from Profitec, ECM, Quickmill, Vibiemme, Expobar, any E61 group. E61 groups have three main sizes, 8, 8.5, and 9 millimeter sizes. The most common, though, are 8 and 8.5. 9 is usually used in older machines if there's a little bit of wear to make sure your portafilter locks in the 6 o'clock position. Rocket uses 8 millimeter gaskets, and I'm going to be using Cafe Lat gaskets. And this is the original gasket that's inside the machine, and that's a rubber gasket. And Cafe Lat makes a silicone gasket, which actually lasts a little bit longer, and I like them more. They're also more supple and easier to put in. The procedure is quite simple and requires very few tools. The only thing that you're going to need is a flathead screwdriver to pry out the old screen and gasket, a brush to clean up underneath because we'll see some tannin and some dirt up there, so we want to get it clean before we put in our new shower screen and gasket. And I also suggest using a little bit of food-grade lubrication to make sure the new gasket slides in a little bit easier. Now, for demonstration purposes, I have this machine turned on its back, but you don't have to do that at home. Just leave the machine upright. I've only done this in order to better display, so it's easier to show exactly what I'm doing, but I don't recommend doing this again because you can spill water, you have to drain the boiler, etc. So the first thing we want to do is remove the old gasket, and in most cases it's going to come out quite easily. I'm just going to pry it out like this, and it comes right out. You can see this one's coming out very easily, but before I take, it's out. One thing I will mention, if it doesn't come out as easily as mine did, what you can do if it's dried up or if it's baked in, you can use a coarse thread screw and basically just with a screwdriver drive into the gasket and it will lift it and push it out. But in most cases that's not necessary. That's just a tip in case you're having difficulty getting it out. But usually it comes right out just like mine just did. Step 2 is you're going to want to clean any dirt inside here. This one's not too much, but you want to get a brush inside here in case there's any coffee grinds or tannins with your brush. You can also use a warm cloth and just kind of get in there and make sure that everything is nice and clean. The next step, we're going to prepare the gasket and the screen for insertion. And an E61 gasket has two sides, a flat side and a beveled side. We're going to put the flat side down. The bevel side goes up. I also recommend putting a little bit of lubrication on the gasket to make it a little bit easier to put in. And you have to use a food-grade lube, and what I'm using here is a product called Lubrifilm from Hayes. We sell it on our website. And you want to make sure, of course, anything that you use is non-toxic and food-grade. And I'm just applying a thin layer on the outside of the gasket. You just want to go all the way around, and this will make sure the gasket slides in a little bit easier. Then I'll take my screen, and again, remember it's flat side down, so I put the screen through all the way to the top, and that's ready to go into the machine. The final step is, of course, putting the screen and gasket into place, and you just put it into the center there. You can push down on the screen, just like that. Because of the lube, it slides in quite easily. Just move your finger around, and you can actually use that flathead screwdriver again, just to push it in any places that it's still risen. Just be careful that you don't damage the gasket, but it's fairly simple to do. And then you'll put in your portafilter. And you see it locks perfectly right at 6 o'clock, good as new. If you notice your portafilter locking at the 5 or 4 o'clock position, or if you're getting coffee flowing over the portafilter during extraction, it may be time to change your gasket. We suggest changing your gasket every year or 2 years for home users, or even longer if you're using a silicone Cafe Lat gasket, or every 3 to 6 months for commercial users. The shower screen can usually be reused. Unless it's torn or very, very dirty, you can usually just clean it up and reuse it with a gasket. Usually you'll change the shower screen every other time you change your gasket. If you have any questions about this tutorial, please feel free to comment. We'll be happy to answer your questions. Or you can contact our very helpful tech team directly at tech@idrinkcoffee.com. Also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos, more tutorials about everything to do with coffee. Thank you for watching and have a great day.